Welcome to Queenie's Wednesday Night Live here on Facebook and YouTube. Fancy, right? Wow. I always say, oh, these blue lips are bright. But they are. I'm usually with the dark ones. And, hi, Aunt Debbie. So, I had some stuff prepared. And now my brain is not happy about it, obviously. I want my stuff to be prepared, and my glasses are reflecting, and that's not very neat. So hold on. I don't know if this is going to help. No, it's not, because part of it is that I have my screen on, and my glasses are just going to reflect the screen, because that's fun, right? It's really fun. Anyway, so, all right, maybe there's a little less reflection. No, it's these things. So, tough shit, everybody. I'm just going to have eye reflection. Okay, so this morning I was having a talk with my roommate because we finally got to check in and sit. We used to sit at the table and eat breakfast together or chat, and we'd have these talks about what was going on in the world and life in general and stuff that we were working on internally. And the internal has a tendency to go external. Anyway, so we would chat about that, and it had been months since we did that, so it was nice this morning to sit down and talk about that. And we got to talking about, she was talking about that there was this James Arthur Ray or something like that was part of the movie The Secret, which came out in 2006. This is and initially Abraham Hicks was part of that movie, and then they asked to be removed because it ended up being mostly about less about the emotional well-being, spiritual aspect of it, and more about the ego-driven aspect to acquire more stuff or get more stuff going your way. And so now I'm gonna have to turn the fan on. Okay, because I had hesitated to speak about this kind of stuff on here, even though I do readings and shit like that once a month, tarot readings, and I'm thinking that's pretty woo-woo. And then, so I'm concerned about talking about the law of attraction, because that might even be more woo-woo. These are air quotes. They should be closer to my head so people can see them because I was doing them out here, and you can only see them on YouTube. Look at that. You can see on YouTube, you can see the little break between the two screens. Look. Whoop. You can't on Facebook. You guys just don't get the full spectrum, but that's all right. You must be lucky. Yes. Free trip to Mexico. Yeah. Well, anyway, so we were talking about the movie The Secret, and we were talking about that guy, James Arthur Ray. He's the one, that guru guy, who kind of got arrested because there were people doing sweat lodges. Those were the two words that I couldn't think of today. I'm like, hot places this morning instead of saying sweat lodge. So I'm on my exercise ball instead of my office chair, just to let you know, and because it's fun. And I didn't want to roll my chair all the way back into my room. Yeah. Anyway, so he created this whole, after The Secret, or maybe even before The Secret, I'm not entirely sure, but he ended up becoming deciding that he was this big guru, and that and I I think that well, my roommate's watching a documentary about it on some on one of her streaming channels. But this guy, a couple of years ago, or within the last decade, he got put in jail because a couple of people died during his sweat lodge initiations and retreats. And I I I think that at least my roommate's impression was that the sweat lodge, yeah, we should have a show, Heather and I, um, because we're weird. We're like the we're like double Linda from Bob's Burgers or something. Anyway, so I have now, and I thought I was going to die. It was scary and horrible and good, and just it was intense. And I just remember thinking, it'll be over soon. It'll be over soon. It'll be over soon. Just hang in there. Hang in there. It'll be over soon. That's all I kept thinking. Anyway, but I don't recall having a religious experience during the sweat lodge. And in fact, it's very interesting because I can't remember who I did it with. I know that it was in the Oakland Hills. I think it was in the Oakland Hills, and it probably maybe 20 years ago. And I don't recall who I did it with or what group I did it with. And I don't recall having a religious experience. It didn't really, it wasn't my thing because I felt like I couldn't breathe. I didn't like it. No, sir, I did not like it at all. Anytime that they offered that we could take a break, I was trying. But then I was daring myself, because that's kind of during these kind of experiences, I was daring myself to go, and to keep going, to be badass. That's what I was doing. It's kind of like when I was part of this kind of witchy group that we would go into the forest at night, and I would go. We were supposed to, go out in the meet back at a certain point and use our intuition to guide our way. No flashlights or anything like that. And everybody was really scared, and I wasn't really scared of that. That didn't scare me. I wasn't even scared of the beasts that were in there, and I was able to find my way back. But it was like, to me, that kind of thing felt like adventure to me, and I liked it. And one wouldn't think, me sitting here on my exercise ball in my house, another day in the house, just like everybody else, right? Anyway, so we were discussing this James Arthur Ray, I think that he got out of prison and he's still having retreats and things like that. And I was thinking, and we were talking about The Secret, and I was thinking, well, like, they kept him, who wears white robes and announces that he's God, that are on his retreat, and forces them to shave their head and all kinds of stuff. So they left him in The Secret. There were a bunch of people in The Secret, and I was on the train. I bought the Mind movies, which was like $60 for this whole bunch of DVD sets to show you how to create them, and this software to create them, to where basically it was get a lot of pictures off the internet, or that you scan, and create a slide presentation with music for yourself. And that was kind of cool. But it doesn't address or doesn't where it kind of glosses over to me is the inner the inner shit that can be in your way when you are trying to make something more for yourself. The secret, it doesn't the secret it doesn't address that everybody, I don't care who you are, even if you think you're a guru like James Arthur Ray, everybody has internal shit that gets in their way. I mean, it's nice when it doesn't. It's nice when things flow and just kind of unfold. And I've experienced that, and we've all experienced that in some way, shape, or form. But everybody has internal obstacles that they create for themselves out of not feeling like they deserve it, not feeling like they're lovable, not feeling like they matter. And everybody has that, because we're human beings, and our life is not just, being in these bodies means that sometimes shit goes bad. And that, my point with the way that they presented The Secret was that what it needed to be about, that kind of stuff and that kind of surface stuff and that kind of ego focused kind of like stuff and things stuff. It needed to be about that in 2006, because that's what people would hear right? That's what people would hear at that time. And hi Norma. But that was 2006. This is 2020. Things have evolved since then. Even people wanted to just have material things want something deeper, require something deeper, because their psyche is requiring something deeper of them, because the surface doesn't work. The surface stuff is just fleeting. You want something deeper to unfold, something that feels something that really connects with you to unfold. So I just was thinking that, okay, well, that movie came out at that time. That's what we were able to hear. And then people can use it. And I think that I think the danger with positive thinking is that people use it to pick on themselves, to beat the shit out of themselves for not being able to just think positive, which is humanly impossible, by the way. You can't think positive 24/7. That's not why you're here. That's not why anybody's here. And if they tell you that they do, there's some sort of denial going on, and you want to steer clear. Some of the most nutty people that I have ever met in my whole entire life were people that tried to avoid all the bad feelings and put a blessing on it. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. The nuttiest lady, potential client that I had on the phone, that thankfully I didn't take up on her wanting an appointment with me, get hung up on me on the phone after going, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. And I'm like, that is the most angry blessing I have ever had in my whole entire life. Anyway, so it was nice to chat with my roommate this morning about those things. And it's nice to own the fact that we're human beings. We have shitty days, moments, hours, weeks, months. It's okay. Right now, we're in a shit show, and that is okay. I mean, I'm saying it's okay. I can't speak for anybody else, and I shouldn't. I shouldn't try and speak for anybody else. But, for me, I know ultimately it's going to be okay, because eventually shit seems to work out. Regardless of whether it's the way that I anticipate that it's going to work out or not work out, it works out, So that was I'm sure that there will be more law of attraction rants in my future. Because I basically I listen to that stuff sometimes in the morning when I get up to give me a little pep talk, not to show me what I do wrong when I can't think of something positive, but just to try and shift my focus a little bit, because I want to be a better human being. I want to be more positive. Hello. You're not late. You're never late. You're right on time. But, so what else were we? Like, you have a choice what I talk about. Nobody tells me what they want me to talk about, so I just kind of make it up on my own. I just sit here on my exercise ball discussing topics with you and talking about life and weird stories. So I told you last time, or a couple times ago, that I really love paranormal podcasts. In fact, I like watching YouTube videos of ghost hunts and shit. I enjoy it. It's fun. And it's interesting. So, and I don't know why, except that, thank you. And I did my hair blue. I just want to warn you that I decided to shift from the salt and pepper into the blue again. And when I was riding my bike today, because it was warm outside, my bike helmet was stuck to my forehead. And when I came home, my forehead was blue, like I had a stripe across my forehead. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So I could have been even more blue had I went straight into this video and not noticed that. I would have just had a blue forehead. And I would have challenged you not to tell me that my forehead was blue. Because, you don't want to embarrass me, do you? It's like the emperor. Don't tell the emperor that he's naked. Don't tell him that he's naked. Please don't tell him that he's naked. Okay, this exercise ball is just a little bit too fun. I hope I don't make you guys nauseous, but it's better than the camera going up and down. Anyway, so far this week has been pretty good. And so far in the last week or so, I had been having problems with my shoulder. Maybe it might be, or it might be void of course. It might be in between. I am not an expert astrologer. I just know about some of that stuff. And basically I knew about astrology so that I could try and figure myself out. You know how you go and you ask yourself, what should I be when I grow up? What should I be when I grow up? What should I be? Who should I be? What should I do when I grow up? God, like all the reflection is really, but I don't like that. So tough shit reflection. So I didn't know. And as I've stated before, as y'all get to know me better, I want to know who is this little bitch in the mirror, and why is she here, and what is she supposed to do, and why is it so hard? That's, me. That's kind of what I was trying to figure out, and that's why I explored all of these things, like astrology and I just tell you that when I was a kid, when I was 9 or 10, probably when I was 10, I'm both grown up and not so grown up. I'm a childlike grown up. On one hand, I really enjoy being silly. And on the other hand, I'm a control freak that likes to pretend that she's supposed to take responsibility for a whole bunch of things that maybe she has no business taking responsibility for. Maybe that's just the perfect Gemini. I don't know. Anyway, so when I was about 10, I asked my parents to get me a Ouija board because I was really curious about them. Needless to say, I just think that even though they don't, whether they know it or not, they should be really thankful that I could not focus enough to make it work. Or maybe I didn't need the Ouija board to make it work because shit was already happening. And the only time that I ever got the Ouija board to work, not that one, this was another one, was when I had my friend Liz with me. And her and I made one when we were in our early 20s. I think she had just turned 21 and I was 23 or almost 24. And we made one in my townhouse in Smithridge in Reno. And it moved. Damn. It was kind of crazy. It had some things. It had some stuff and things. And we asked questions and I can barely remember what happened. But I know I had some things happen in the house afterwards that were quite interesting until I booted them out. But I've told that story before. So anyway, but when I was a kid, I had a Ouija board. I had it for a long time. It just never worked for me. A lot of things didn't work for me that I thought were going to work. Yeah, Ouija board hopscotch. Yay! And hopscotch didn't work for me very well. Jump rope either, or the Chinese jump rope, the elasticy band things, the crisscross. No, too clumsy, man. I was too clumsy. I don't recall being able to do that at all. But I'm not too clumsy to bounce on this exercise ball. Anyway, but law of attraction. So I couldn't make that happen. It was probably good because I was lonely and I probably would have, had I been really focused and really open, maybe we could have gotten some poltergeist shit happening up in there, which I have heard that sometimes that is just like not an external force necessarily, that it's a energetic off-gassing, you know, from teenagers, people who are needing, like, who are frustrated in their expression. Do you like that? Oh, no. Anyway, I don't know what I believe about that. I mean, I've only experienced, I've never watched anything happen. I have watched the aftermath. Hi, Kurt. Or heard happen. For instance, when I was living at Smithridge, my roommates and I were sitting downstairs, and when the windows were open upstairs, the doors would slam shut. There were no windows open upstairs, and both bedroom doors slammed shut. That was a little scary. And I just pretended that was my grandpa who really misunderstood or wasn't exactly that happy with the concept of my roommates being lesbians. Which, you know, he was old school, so born 1898. And maybe not so keen on it because he used to do things to them a lot, apparently, or whatever it was. Like, I can't say that it wasn't, whatever it was in the house. And I did dream of him being there a couple of times, but whatever it was, didn't really like them very much. Chairs would move, and yeah. One of the girls, Kristen, made a beer pyramid, and it was knocked over because it was a beer pyramid, a beer can pyramid. Okay, it honestly, being a poltergeist over because it was ridiculous and smelled like beer can. And these were after I had had a bunch of skateboarders flop housing in my townhouse. Like my cousin and all his skateboarder friends, little skate rats, flop housing. And there was a lot of beer involved there, but there was more beer involved with this one little tiny woman with a pet ferret and her girlfriend. Mostly the little tiny woman with the pet ferret. Beer can castles, practically. So, maybe I unconsciously knocked her beer can pyramid over because it was ridiculous. But, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was in my first band. I started my first band in that place. So there was Kristen and Cherie, who changed her name to Blaze, I think. Anyway, she played bass. She was from this really artistic family, and she played fretless bass, and it was amazing. Like, she could play things from Dolly's Car. She was really into Susie, did her makeup like Susie from Susie and the Banshees, and she was really talented. And then my friend Ken, that was a couple years younger than me, or a year younger than me in high school. I can't remember, year older or a year younger than me in high school, that went to Carson High School, which was very surprising, and liked that kind of music. And he played keyboards. So we were going to start this band, and I was going to sing. And we picked out music to sing. And there was an Erasure song, I think Ola Moore, and Susie and the Banshees song. But the one Susie and the Banshees song, I bet he's still that way. It was... that was a lot. That one. That got I'll tell you in a minute. So Ken played keyboards, Cherie played bass, and I was going to sing. We did Erasure, Ola Moore, and we did Susie and the Banshees song. And the one song that we could do was Red Light. And every time I said the lyric, ancient nipple shrinking, I would just start fucking laughing. I couldn't, because, when the aperture shuts, too much exposure, and there's an ancient nipple shrinking, and I could not contain myself. And I think, if I remember correctly, and I probably blocked it out, I must have watched, see, Nada, I knew you'd like that. I must have watched this Susie and the Banshees live concert VHS like over and over again. I just remember the one I liked the most, the image I liked the most was she was on this stairway, and it might have been during Israel. It might have been during that song, or Entranced. I don't know, because embarrassingly enough, as Susie, I don't have everything all memorized the way that other people do. And that doesn't mean that that Susie and the Banshees is not amazing. But I just don't have it all memorized. It didn't stick in there. Some things do, like the Happy House stuck in there, and Hong Kong Garden, which is incredibly un-PC to sing now. But so I remember we watched that. And I think before that, watched Buckaroo Banzai, but that was when my friend Liz was there, and I think we watched it with a boyfriend of mine that I went out with for a month. We watched Buckaroo Banzai. I think his name was Damien, and he had a friend. He had a friend that came out from Tennessee, and he was kind of rockabilly, and I can't even remember what his name was. Shoot. He was very cute, too. I just don't remember what his name was. Anyway, so Smith Ridge. Yeah. So when my cousin was living with me, he had a girlfriend move in, and well, she stole a lot of my stuff while I was gone. Because I would spend a lot of time away from the house because there were too many people flop housing there, and it was a problem. And so I had all this clothes that she would just, I guess, while I wasn't there, and she was babysitting my daughter, which was probably not good because they painted Nazi symbols on her doll and anarchy symbols and stuff like that. And I don't know, it probably wasn't a very good idea, but I was in my early 20s and kind of a dumbass. So anyway, but she was funneling. I'm not even going to say her name because, yeah, I don't know her now. She could have her whole life together. She could be an amazing human being now. But she would funnel my clothing, like pieces of my clothing, out with her friends. And things were missing. And then when I asked them to leave, shortly after I asked them to leave and my grandparents moved in, so one of their friends robbed the house while we were gone and stole and hawked this 150-year-old grandfather clock. Never got that back. But I did go to a party at that person's house like a month or two later and saw photos of my grandparents on their mantle. So I was like, oh, well, that explains where my stuff went. And I was at this party and I came up and I said, excuse me, but may I get those back? Those are my grandparents that are on your mantle. May I please have them back? Grandpa Shannon. Right. So that was interesting. That was very interesting. But I don't know. I think it was pretty damn funny to go to somebody's house that you didn't even know, that were like friends of like, because there were so many people coming in and out of that house. It was the typical thing that you do when you're in your 20s. And I should have known better, was that things just got out of control in the condo. That's all, the townhouse. Things just got out of control because I didn't know how to set boundaries. I didn't know how to have control. There were kids coming in. It was very, very sweet. My cousin really loves animals. He rescued some cats. And so all of a sudden we had cats and I didn't want to have cats. And that's how I got Mauser. And so it was just, and then we had a cat named Tiffer the Biffer that really, she was a tortie and she was fucking crazy. And so we had to give her to somebody else so she could be the only cat. She used to run back and forth across the house and run up the sliding glass door curtains, and just kind of hang on the curtain like that. And it was just, she was really a nightmare. Anyway, so hopefully, I think we had somebody take her. And yes, living alone eventually was less trouble. Yeah. Good. It's good with my roommate now, and it wasn't too bad sometimes. It wasn't too bad. I mean, we worked it out living with my daughter, my grown-up daughter, who lives up in Oregon now. And that worked out. That worked, we were together for a decade, or almost a decade anyway. And that was just how it was. And, she didn't really bring random people into the house either. I guess both of us were careful about who we brought into our house. And now that we're sheltering in place, nobody comes over except for extra cats that make my cat try and pee on the window screen because he's territorial. Boy. Anyway, but that was an interesting time period. But I think, like I said, I think that we all have time periods like that. I would have probably got a time period out of the way when I was 18 or 19 except I met my daughter's father, and I had my daughter. So my wild time period got delayed just a little bit. And I always liked hanging out with people that were younger than me at that time. I think because I was just trying to be that age and have that kind of freedom to fuck up. And I didn't necessarily have that kind of freedom to fuck up because I I had to be responsible. I had a child when I was 19, so I had to be responsible. But I still could do wacky things, and obviously have a bunch of wacky people living in my house because they didn't have a place to go. And then I had to boot them, and like that. Yeah. Anyway. Woo! Oh, cat pee is mosquito repellent. That means that Bowie was trying to help. I suspect that he was trying to help because the reason that he did it was that there was probably this strange cat that keeps wandering into the yard, which is, hello, Oakland, that's what happens, especially in my neighborhood. So a strange cat came into the yard, and he was protecting his mama from the strange cat. And I was trying to sleep. So I woke up about an hour earlier than I normally would have to the sounds of scratching on his window perch and wondering why that is happening. And then going, oh no, no, you don't. Anyway, but that's me bitching. And I hope that you all are hanging in there. I was talking about, God, it's just reflection on my glasses. It's crazy, man. I was talking about earlier about how, you want to think positive and everything like that. It's like, I think that we have entered or have been entering the stage of this time period on this planet, or is at least in the United States, where I don't fucking know. Yeah. The hate is getting overwhelmed. I don't fucking know. I used to be able to figure out, I used to think that there would be like an end to this. And as I was saying, I don't think that we're ever going to go back. We went through a gateway, and I'm hoping that it wasn't the gate of hell, but I don't think it was. It's just that I don't think we cannot go back. We cannot go back to the way it was before. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. And I don't think that this just happened this year. I think that this has been brewing, and I think that we started through that gateway somehow in 2015, 2016. We just went into the upside down world, and our lives they're not going to be the same again. And I don't know how to help, and I don't know other than to have group therapy with you every week. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like on the other end of it. Whether we're going to be wearing masks for the rest of our lives. I have no idea. I don't like plugging into the idea that we are, dipping our toe in or diving into the potential of, military law. But it's just, again, like every time I think that the world is so polarized, it couldn't get any more polarized than it is. It's like somebody comes in and goes, hold my beer. Let me see if we can make it worse. People are peeing in stores because they can't wear a mask. There's got to be more because they won't wear a mask. There's got to be more to that story than just, I mean, there had to be other substances involved in that. There just had to be. Like, no, but you think no person in their right mind would do that. But now you're realizing how many people, including maybe a little bit of yourself, are not in their right minds right now. So anything goes, sadly. And trying to keep up with what's going on, and then getting distracted and looking at news stories. Like, there's so many news stories of people like killing each other. And maybe because I just didn't pay attention to the news very much, because I didn't feel like I had to, or I didn't want to. Maybe I just didn't notice that. But there's a serious lack of understanding the humanity of everyone. There's a serious lack of acknowledging that there are human beings out there that need to be treated like human beings, and we're really being asked to like examine the places within ourselves where we don't think somebody's a human being, even somebody who pees on the floor in the Verizon store. Just like I was talking earlier this week, or maybe it was earlier this week, about the woman, the Starbucks lady that's suing the barista for part of his donations that he received because she flipped out in the Starbucks place, and she feels that she's been her and her gynecologist a few years ago. Her chiropractor says she has breathing problems. Okay. But so obviously it's game on. It's game on. And yeah. Well, I don't, Kirk, I think that we are being given an opportunity for self-reflection. And I don't think that everybody is blowing it, but the people who are blowing it are really doing it in a very big way. And we are in a time period where everybody films everything. So you can't hide, you're blowing it kind of thing. And you can't hide that. And everybody wants to see it because we want somebody to be pissed at, somebody to be mad at, somebody to be other. We just really want somebody to be other. We're just in an othering party because we're being shown that we need to other people, Got a little carried away with that. I was othering. But yeah, we don't know their history. We don't know whether they have mental problems. We don't know, we don't know if maybe they're on drugs. People are scared, and we are being given this opportunity to be self-reflective. I am being given this opportunity. For myself, I'm being given this opportunity to address the internal racism within myself, and sexism, and like all the isms. I'm having to look at them, the ways that I have been programmed, and unwind the ways that I have been programmed to have isms. The way that I was socialized. The way that I was socialized to fucking judge. And the habit of judging people because I am so harsh with myself. Trying to be perfect. Here I am. Oh, I gotta match my lipstick with my fucking hair and my shirt, or else, my God, the world is gonna fucking end. And it is fun to do. But reading Ben said having to wear masks for the rest of our lives is than most of the alternatives. Yeah, it is. It is just an adjustment. Yeah, just like when people started driving cars. It's just a thing that happens, and you can either get over it or you can fight it. That's true. That's very true. So during this time period, some of us have time. Some of us have time, but we're not being supported in having that time, which those of us that can't work from home and can't work right now, or they're not. There's not very much support for that, and that's really scary. And I don't have an answer to that. Yeah, if it feels like we are being baited with another stimulus check, and with the extension of unemployment benefits, which very well should happen. I mean, if we can militarize a bunch of fucking people and have them tear gas a row of moms in Portland, Oregon, if we can afford to do that, I think we can afford to extend people's unemployment benefits. Don't you think? And now my roommate's coming home. She doesn't realize that I'm live, baby. Hello. She had to go home from work early. Everybody send healing. Send healing and figure out what is juju to my roommate. Anyway, so we're just talking about current affairs, talking about things that I've read in the news. And wow, I've been talking for a while. So I picked some more karaoke songs. And also too, I've been dealing with the shame that I feel about a lot of things. One, that I really prefer working from home. I have been riding the last couple of weeks. I've taken my bike, and that's really good, and riding BART, because my car is a money pit and I am done for a while. I need to not think about it for a while. And besides that, a catalytic converter is a pipe dream right now. There are special ones for California. You can't just get them anywhere. But I've been riding BART. And BART has been empty, practically empty, to and from. And I hate to say it, but that has been delicious. That has been great. That doesn't bode well for keeping BART going, though. But boy, has it been nice to be able to not have to worry about socially distancing while you're on the train. And I have my gloves on. Pardon me, and my mask on, and I get to and from. I get a good ride, a little bit of a ride to and from, and that's helping my sanity a lot. And I think it's helping my pain levels, because I was having a lot of hip problems before, and then it turned into pinched nerve shoulder bullshit, and I still have that sometimes if I mess around on my phone too much. But I'm feeling better. And I'm feeling like it's affecting my appetite as well. So I'm not eating as much.
I'm so sorry.
This is what happens. So enjoy, because because my roommate comes up behind me. Hi, Heather.
I'm very stealthy. I just want to ask you a quick question. I'm assuming the cats haven't been fed because they were all by the window. Okay, I'm going to take care of it.
Oh, she's going to feed the cats. But first, she had to scare the shit out of me, because this is what happens to me. I will look directly at someone, know they are coming, and if they go boo, I will scream like that. It's a jump scare. I am like a walking jump scare, because I get so into what I'm doing. Anyway, so I picked some more songs out for karaoke, and I'm hoping, and some of them were that I did one night. I don't know if I saved those, but I did. Let's see what's happening here. No. Oh, it's just telling me that I'm live on YouTube. Isn't that funny? That was awesome. Thanks a lot, Ben. Yeah. So you caught me. Honestly, that was probably the most natural moment aside from this bouncing on my exercise ball that y'all have seen during this thing. That's the most natural, uncontrolled movement. That's me with no control over my shit. All right, let's see. What are the new songs that I added there? I already did that one. Oh, I love that one. Did I do that one before? So how depressing should we be? Or how not? See, I'm not sure if I know this one. And I really want to. I really want to. Shit. There. Oh. Okay, so we're going to do something. Yeah, Heather. Heather won. Look, see how entertaining that is? She doesn't even feel well. She was able to work that up. Y'all need to know. The bullet train. Okay. Oh, what was really cool? I love you. I will save this live. Good night, Ben. Is that I found some Rocky Horror Picture Show for which I will have to stand. And then I will sit for the next one, but I will have to stand for this one. Cross your fingers that I can do it. Well, who cares if I can do it or not? I'm just going to do it, right? Okay, because this is one that's going to use breathing that I may or may not have. Let's have some water first. And of course, now I have to go to the bathroom, but tough shit. I'm here. So let's see if we can do this here. I hope I can read this. Yeah, okay. In the velvet darkness of the blackest night, burning bright, there's a guiding star. No matter what or who you are, there's a light. There's a light. There's a light in the darkness of everybody's life. So I was a little behind. Tough shit. Now I'm pretending I'm Riff Raff. The darkness must go down the river of night streaming. Flow, Morphia, flow in the sun, and light comes streaming into my life. Into my life. There's a light. There's a light. I think that was it. Was that fun? I thought that was fun. We're not going to, no, we're not doing that one. No, we're going to go back. We're going to go back in time. Maybe I'll be able to sit for the next one. Woohoo! All right, let's see. Okay, now. Now I did save I'm going home, and we'll do that later because I have to learn that a little bit more. All right, what is next? What is next? I have to say I really like singing for you because I really like singing for people, and I think that I was all it unbounds me, and that kind of unbounded me a little bit because that's a kind of a cathartic kind of thing. I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I have seen it so many times. What I really like is Sweet Transvestite, but I don't think that's too PC for me to sing, even though I freaking love it. Let's see. So I'm trying to see if I know this song, so I may brutalize it. This is a song called, oh yeah, I watched it once there, and when I lived in Nevada, I knew all the words to all the songs when I was in high school before I ever, because these kids that were older than me, the seniors when I was a junior, went to Berkeley and saw it and brought back the soundtrack, and I learned all the words to all the songs because I just knew. I just knew that, like, just like when I first saw the B-52s, like, I know I'm weird. I think I might be this kind of weird. I think this might be kind of my kind of weird. So anyway, I think I'm going to try a Liz Phair song now. This is, it makes me think of my bike systems and administrator, and really hope that I can do this one. So now I'm kind of stressed out about it. This might be a Buddy Holly train wreck like that one. We'll see. I can't even hear the music well enough. I know I have looked all over the place, but you have got my favorite face. Your eyelashes sparkle like gilded grass, and your lips are sweet and slippery like a cherub's bare wet ass. 'Cause you're a human supernova, a solar Superman. You're an angel with wings of fire, a flying giant freaking. You walking on clouds of glitter, and the sun reflects your eyes. And every time the wind blows, I can smell you in the sky. Your kisses are as wicked as an M16. And you fuck like a volcano, and you're everything to me. 'Cause you're a human supernova, a solar Superman. You're an angel with wings of fire, a flying giant friction blast. You're a giant flying friction blast. Hi, Nick. I love you. 'Cause you're a human supernova, a solar Superman. You're an angel with wings of fire, a flying giant friction blast. Bike system list. A Beatles song. Where are you? Come here. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. Come on. You can do it. Oh, it's down towards the bottom. Thank you. There were a couple fuck ups in there. Oh, God, there's Elvis. I did the Elvis in there. That's hilarious. Okay. Somewhere only we know. Iris. Okay. So I'm going to do. Now it's a toss up between Adamant and the Beatles. I'm going to do the Beatles because this one is known by more people, and Adamant's wonderful. I'll have to practice that. I'll practice some other ones in between the time. This works out. It's supposed to be in a higher key. Wish me luck. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. I believe in yesterday. Suddenly had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday. Love was such an easy life. And yesterday, that's what go, I don't know. She wouldn't say something right. And now I long for yesterday. Yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. In yesterday. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, yes, I will practice an Adamant song. Maybe I'll even find a different one than Wonderful. You never know. But I love you guys. Thank you for listening. I much appreciate it. Thank you for your feedback. And I will see you next Wednesday night. Hang in there. We got this. We don't know what it is, but we've got it.